Hey, so right now my hair is looking crazy. I'm gonna show you guys how I do my turbans. Most of the time when I wear turbans, it's because I'm having a bad hair day, and today is no different. So when I wear them, I usually have my hair pulled back into like a very basic bun, nothing fancy. I honestly don't even like put any effort into it. The most effort I put is into like my edges because that's what I usually leave out. I usually put this turban about right here. So I wanted to show you guys my process. And it's pretty simple. Whether you have short hair, long hair, it doesn't really matter because the emphasis is going to be on the edges anyway. So first I just use a paddle brush and I brush my hair back. It's almost wash day, so that's why my hair looks like this. It's so puffy and like stiff. I usually just brush my hair back because you want it to be flat. You don't want the turban to be like lumpy, especially in the front. So I just brush my hair. And I usually just secure it with like a ponytail holder. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because you won't see it, but you do want it to be like very low. So I make it very low. All right, and then I just tuck it under so that the hair is not like hanging down, as you can see. All right, so sometimes I put a part here and I like do all this fancy stuff and swoop the edges. You can do that, but for the sake of this video, I'll just show you guys the simple, quick way. I like to use the EBIN 24-hour edge tamer. It has a really strong hold and my edges, nothing else works on my edges. I have those edges that just don't lay down ever. Gel doesn't work. Other types of edge control don't work. It just gets wavy and then before you know it, everything is ruined. So this is the only edge control that works. The only thing I don't like about it is it does have buildup and it gets flaky if you like use it too much, or throughout the day it might have like a little bit of like a white appearance to it, like white flaky appearance. So I don't use it as often, but this is the only thing that works. So basically what I do is I just go section by section around my edges and apply. So I just take a little bit on my finger like that. And it doesn't really matter where you start. It's up to you. I like to start in the middle. And I just put it around the perimeter. Like this. I like to brush as I go because the edge control does dry pretty quickly. So I'm just using a regular hard bristle brush. And I just brush it back. Until it's smooth. You can add however much you want. It all depends on your hair texture, your hair type. But I usually like it, something like this. So I'm just going to keep going until I'm done. Sometimes I put extra around that part that's going to be swooped because you kind of have to manipulate it. I'm going to take my glasses off to do this. Now I can't see. Alright, so same thing. I will go back in later and fix the edges, but I just want to get like a baseline kind of thing going. Okay. Do this side. This edge control is no joke. It's like the only thing that works. And like I said, I'll go back in and like customize the edges, but I just want to get it back, slick back before it dries. And I use this brush to do like the sides just because it's thinner, has a thinner profile. Alright, so this is the baseline. Now I'm going to put my glasses back on because I can't see. Alright, so as you can see, it's very basic. It's nothing fancy, nothing too cute yet. But I'm going to go in with my edge brush. I love this thing. It was like $2 on Amazon. Listen, if you want edges that's laid, get one of these. It's the best investment I've ever made. So now I'm just going to go in and go over the actual edges again. Just a little bit more. Not a lot. Just 'cause I told you it'll flake up if you use too much. So. And all this will lay down once I put the turban on. That's why I'm not like worried about this part, like how it's puffed up. It won't matter. It'll be covered. I'm just going to brush this back a little more. The front part. Alright, so I just go in with the brush. And you can just customize that. You can use the comb side if you want to, you know, make it go down. So yeah, however you do your edges, this thing works wonders. I'm not like an edge pro. My sister is the edges pro. She be having these things looking laid. Me, I'm just a basic edge layer. You know, as long as they got a little swoop to it, it's good with me. But she be having the swirls that go this way and that way. Listen, I'm gonna get there. I'm a beginner edge layer. Bear with me. So, but you see what I mean? Like, this stuff dries so fast. It was almost hard for me to move them now that they like kind of like are set. So yeah, you can play around with it, do it however you prefer. And both sides never look the same. That is so annoying. But hey. Alright, so I pretty much got it how I want it. And like I said, this will look better once the scarf is on. Once you get it all kind of laid where you want it to be. Fix this side. There's always one side that just does not cooperate. This side of my edges is thinner because I had these really small feeding braids that I love, but oh my god, they took this side of my edges out. Okay, I said, oh, I gotta take a break from the braids. So they trying to make a comeback, but the struggle is real over here on the right side. Okay, so then you want to get your scarf, whatever kind of scarf you use. I got this from TJ Maxx or Marshall's, one of those stores. It's just one of those long kind of like, you know, scarves that you could wear like as an accessory around your neck. But I always wear them as turbans. I hardly ever wear them as a, you know, an actual scarf. So what I do is if you were to hold it up at like a long rectangle, I kind of fold it downward in half so it can still be long, but like half of that size in terms of like the width of it. You'll see when I show you. So basically you will fold it to be like this length or width. You want to do that all the way across. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want to have excess like in the back when you're trying to like wrap it. So basically you're going to take the scarf, whip it around, and I would suggest looking in the mirror to see exactly where you want it to stop. Like some people want it all the way in the beginning. I don't. I like my edges to show some. So what I'll do is like put the scarf all the way up to the top and just let it lay. Make sure it's like even on both sides. So pretty even. Okay. And then I get real close to the mirror and I slowly pull it back from the back. I'm looking in a mirror over here just so you know. Alright, so once I get it where I want it to be, I hold it down tight and I tie a knot in the back. Now be careful because it will slide off one side, so be careful that you're holding both sides of the scarf while you're trying to tie it. You just pull it through and pull it as tight as you can stand it. I used to give myself headaches, so I stopped pulling them as tight. Now one thing I do, which is a little hack, I usually put 2 bobby pins in before I start to tie the turban or whatever I'm going to do, because my hair, when I put edge control or anything on it, it's very slick and fine, and the scarves will slide right off. So let's see, I just take a regular bobby pin. They're all stuck together, of course, you know, regular bobby pin. Open it up, and one piece of it I put underneath, like into my hair, and the other piece, the top piece, I like push through the fabric so that it can like hold on to something. And I do that kind of close to the edge here. It's just some extra security because, as you can see, my bun underneath was ratchet looking and I do not want this to slide off. So this is just what I do. Put that under and then slide this other top piece right through the fabric. And now it's secure. Sometimes I'll put one in the middle here. It just depends on how I'm wrapping like the ends of it. Also, when you tie the back, you want to make sure that you kind of like tuck it under the bun that you made. If you do have a bun, like if you can see, I kind of like tucked it under the bun and pull it tightly. So sometimes I'll wear it and I'll wrap these 2 end pieces like around in a bun in the middle. But I'm not going to do that today. I want to do like an actual turban. So once you're sure that it's tied tightly, what I usually do is take one side of it and I just give it a little twist. You don't have to twist it really hard because then it'll be really like, you know, taut. I like it to be kind of like loose and like, you know, like look natural and pretty. So I give it a little loose twist and then I just pull it up and see where I want it positioned. I kind of put it slightly behind the start just so it doesn't cover the edges. So I'll just twist as I go. And then once I get to the back here, I tie it along with this one so it can like hold it in place. So just tie it and pull it through. And basically this will just hold this in place. So that little excess piece that you have, you can honestly tuck that either under the bun, or when you take this one around the other way, you can tuck it under there. So however you feel it'll stay more secure, that's what you're going to do. I'm going to actually just cover the little piece with this piece when I take this around this way. So that's what I'm going to do now. I still have the little piece in my hand. I'm just going to take this and kind of spread it out some so that it can cover that little piece. And then once it's covered, I'll do, you know, same thing, a little twist. Now with this one, I don't want it to be directly on top of this because then it'll just be like bulky. So I kind of do like an overlap thing. I'll start it in the front of this one and twist it, and as it's going forward I'll move it to the back so it can kind of have some dimension. You can twist it however you feel it would look best. Sometimes, like, you see how I'm twisting it and like the edges are showing, so if that happens I'll just untwist it and just make it to where it looks best to you. I mean, everybody does it their own way. Once you get to this very end, you're just going to tuck this either in between the knot in your hair or underneath, however you feel will be most secure. And you can secure that with a bobby pin as well. I don't, but it's up to you. And after I do this, sometimes if I feel like my edges are not exactly how I want them still, I'll just go back in with my little edge brush and do it. Now, as you can see, like what I said, you see how it's like white here? This edge control, sometimes when that happens, I just smooth it out and it looks fine. But it's the only edge control that works on my hair. It's so annoying. Sometimes what I'll do is, if I'm nervous about that white stuff, like showing that film showing up, I'll take something like a mousse or some type of like, not a gel so to speak, but something more smoothing, and just like put a little bit over it, or I'll use spritz. But this is the mousse that I use. It's the Argan Oil Style and Shine Foaming Mousse. So I just take a little bit of it. I'll just put it like on the back of my hand. As you can see, it's like a little foam. And I'll just dab it and just like put it over my edges. Just to give it, like, take that white film look away and just make it look a little more smooth. And it smells so freaking good. Like, I can't. Listen, this was my favorite hairstyle in a period of time where my hair was just a mess. Like, it was damaged. I needed it trimmed. I was just like, listen, it's about to be a different turban every day. And so make sure y'all go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx or wherever y'all go and find some nice printed scarves. And there you have it.